So for the last 10 years, I thought I wanted to become an animator. I spent hours and hours trying to learn animation, 3D modeling, character design, lots and lots and lots of software. I wanted to build up all the skills I thought I needed to bring the stories I wanted to tell to life. I also created this YouTube channel to share some of the information I've learned with other people who might be struggling to learn the same way I was. So here I'm in Blender, and you can see my scene that I created, and the background is all 3D. So if I scroll around, you can see what that looks like. But 5 months ago, I realized something. I didn't actually want to be an animator. I mean, I did. But what I really wanted to do was tell stories. And those two are not the same thing. In this video, I want to talk about why I stepped away from YouTube for 5 months, why I changed my creative direction, and how that decision helped me accomplish something I'd been trying to do for years. In my day job, I work as a creative director, so creativity is already a major part of my everyday life. At work, I write, edit, design, I solve creative problems. Outside of work, I've always wanted to tell stories that I find interesting. And for years, I believed animation was the best way for me to do that. Animation isn't part of my day job, so it gave me something new to learn as well. So during those 10 years, I had a bit of success. One of my animations was included in the Toon Boom Harmony 2024 show reel, so that was encouraging. Let's move on to the next one. Reset, people! But there were also problems. The more I learned about animation, the more I realized how difficult it is to create stories by myself. And anybody who animates knows this. You aren't just the animator, you're the writer, you're the character designer, the modeler, the background artist, the compositor, the editor, the sound designer, everything. You are everything. So the last video I released on this channel was an animated introduction to a cartoon series I wanted to create called NYPD Toons. The Emmy Award-winning show that changed television is now animated. New episodes of NYPD Toon are coming to this channel. Viewer discretion is advised. Maybe. We're not sure yet. Now, it was supposed to be the start of a series combining my love of animation, comedy, police procedurals, but that project took a huge amount of time just to create the intro. And eventually I had to ask myself, if my goal is to tell stories, is animation helping me do that, or is it holding me back? Because at the pace I was working, I might be able to create one story a year if I was lucky. I didn't want to spend my time preparing to tell stories. I want to actually tell them. So I started thinking about what I really enjoyed about the process of telling stories, and the answer was characters.
Raylan Givens. To what do I owe this unexpected surprise?
That's why I realized the thing I loved wasn't animation itself, the thing I loved was storytelling. So I started looking for the simplest ways for me to tell stories using the skills I already had, rather than continuously hitting a wall with animation because of how much I still had to learn. The simplest answer was something I'd been avoiding for years: writing a novel. Now, I'd never actually finished a book before. I had started several, but finishing was something that was always the difficult part, which is actually true of most creative projects.
I was going to be the world's best female drummer. Big drum, middle one, foot drum, middle thing, no mistakes. That was my dream. But instead of practicing, I got real high. But this isn't about drugs. This is about me quitting. And I quit everything.
But before I began to write, I believed that I needed to learn more. I read books about writing, I watched videos about writing, I studied techniques and processes. I wanted to know everything there was before I started. But eventually I realized I couldn't learn my way around creating something I'd never created before. At some point, I just needed to start writing. Learning, while beneficial, can also be just another way of avoiding something that you're scared of trying. Procrastinating, because you don't want to feel like you aren't good at it or you don't want to fail at it. So rather than doing the thing, you try to learn all about the thing you can beforehand, which eventually prevents you from doing the thing. So I put the books down and decided to start writing. And I found it very difficult, like really difficult. At work, if I need to write about why physicians need healthcare analytics to better treat their patients, I can do that all day long. But needing to figure out the motivations of a sheriff trying to manage the crime in a fictional southern county, well, that was a little harder. Also, I think most creatives experience this. Your brain is very good at convincing you not to do difficult things, especially when there's no guarantee of the result or any reward. Every night I sat down to write, I had to ignore questions in my head like, is this any good? Will anyone ever read this? What if I'm wasting my time? Are you too dumb to do this? I mean, that one came up quite a bit. But I realized I was putting too much pressure on this one thing. Like, it didn't have to be good. I just need to write, good, bad, or ugly. It was the process that I needed to work on, because you can't be good at something unless you're bad at something first. In addition to fighting with my mind about whether I could actually write or not, I also had to fight with it about how much effort it was going to take. Writing 1,000 words in one night feels great until you remember you still have tens of thousands of words left. It can feel like you aren't making progress. But eventually those small pieces start adding up. 500 words here, 2,000 words there, a chapter at a time. And eventually I was able to look back and realize I'm closer to the end than the beginning. That wasn't the case with animation. I felt like my progress was extremely slow. While writing this, I was able to, say I finished a chapter today, or I finished 1,000 words. It was actually goals that I could work towards. But one of the biggest lessons I learned was I was expecting myself to create something great. Successful authors don't write perfect drafts. They struggle, they rewrite, they fix things. The difference is they finish something. And that's what I finally did. During my 5 months away from YouTube, I completed something I'd never completed before. I wrote the first draft of a Southern crime novel. I'm currently at about 80,000 words, and now I'm moving into the second draft. I still love animation. I still want to learn it. I still want to create animated projects and tutorials for this channel, but I finally understood the difference between the tool I was choosing and my goal. And once I understood that, I could choose the tool that actually helped me finish, which in this case was writing, not animation. And I didn't really need to learn too much more new to do that. 5 months ago, I thought I was quitting something. But looking back, I wasn't quitting animation or YouTube. I was just choosing the best way to create the stories I want to tell with the skills I already had. There's always going to be doubt and friction when it comes to creating something, but the more you can choose processes to alleviate as much of that as possible, the better chance you'll have of completing whatever project you're working on. What are you actually trying to accomplish, and what is the easiest way to achieve your goal? That's what I'm going to be exploring more on this channel, the challenges, the processes, and the systems behind creativity, and how we can actually finish the things we start. If that sounds interesting, consider subscribing. I'll be sharing more about writing, design, creativity, contracting, and the lessons I've learned along the way. Thanks for watching.